Welcome all to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how fantastic episode 399 is in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler, and joining me for episode 399, one away, is Mr. Jimmy One Away Jet. Because you won away, man.
I won away.
You won away.
What did I win?
No, you won away.
Away from one?
You ran away.
I ran away.
You went away.
Yeah. I might not be here for the next episode. We'll find out.
Uh-oh. He's leaving, everybody. Well, cool, man. How are you doing?
Good. Life's busy right now. Very, very busy. But I'm surviving.
Good.
I'm getting to the point, I think, where I might hire a temporary person to help me do snail armor panels.
Ah, nice.
So we'll see. I need to free up some of my time so I can continue to do R&D on new panels, because I don't have time to do that right now, because for the most part, a lot of my time is taken up by production. Yeah. Yep. And packaging and shipping. So I need to figure out a way to free up time, but continue to get panels out the door.
Yep.
My brother has a fairly free schedule, is pretty fluid. And so I might hire him for a few hours once a week to just fill that void while I do stuff on the computer or just do other tasks, business oriented tasks. So we'll see. That might be a slight movement within the business to have me go that direction. But yeah, nice. Otherwise I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty good. That's exciting to hear, though, because the goal is for entrepreneurs is to be working on your business, not in your business.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you can position yourself into that position, that's a good spot to be. So
yeah, I've ran and had many businesses to some extent, because I still have a graphic design business that is operational, that made $300 I think last year or something pathetic, but that business it's been in business for over 10 years.
Yeah,
that my graphic design business, and I just enjoyed graphic design, and I did not enjoy doing any of the other things that went with owning your own business.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I think if I were to figure out a way to go back and just do graphic design, if that was a thing I wanted to do, I would still do graphic design, but I would just hire everybody else around me to do all the other jobs. And I would just I would still play in the graphic design world, but I'd hire an accountant, or I'd hire a project manager, or I hire, a CEO, because all I wanted to do was the graphic design.
Yep.
And I think it's interesting that this is a way off topic. Well, we don't really have a topic for Thursday episodes, but this is a bird walk for sure. I find it interesting that a lot of people will go into businesses. Let's take Steve, for example, from Summershine.
Okay.
Right. Steve probably enjoys doing all the shining and polishing and everything. And that's a thing that he went into business doing. He probably didn't ever envision himself becoming a manager and a CEO and a boss and all these other things that come with a growing business.
Yep.
You as well with MORRFlate, right?
Yep.
So a lot of people, especially in the arts industry, enjoy doing the art, but then once the business gets large enough, they actually step out of doing the art and move into more managerial roles.
Yep.
And I think that's sort of sad.
100%. That's a big issue with fabrication shops and mechanics. You get
same sort of thing.
Stellar, awesome fabricators out there, stellar, awesome mechanics. But once they start getting so much business in that they have to now become a manager and hire other people to do the awesome work, then sometimes their business suffers from it because they were the geniuses behind all the work, and now they're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to a trick of training people.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where to some extent, and it is hard within a business because the people that would step in and become a manager or CEO or CFO, cost a lot. And so if you have to cover that cost if you want to hire out for that, where it's probably better for you to move into that position and then hire somebody that doesn't cost as much to do fabrication work. But if you enjoy doing the fabrication work and it's something you want to do and it's your pride,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard. Like you need to, then I would highly suggest getting to a point where you can price yourself so high that you can hire for the positions that you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's an interesting avenue. It's an interesting argument for sure of business and how you want to lay it out to best fit your needs.
Yep. So speaking of hiring, MORRFlate's also looking for a full-time production person right now.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah,
if anybody's interested, you're local to the Sacramento area, hit me up and let me know.
Cool. Congratulations.
Yep.
Is that going to be 3 full-time employees then?
4, because we're hiring a sales rep right now.
Oh, okay.
And
Dang.
so they start June 1st.
Nice.
Guess who it is?
Oh, I know who it is. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes.
I believe he will fit in rather nicely to this group.
I agree. He's going to fit in great. I offered him the opportunity to work from home and he said no. He wants to come down and work at the warehouse. He needs a little bit more of a structured regimen. And so, yeah, he'll be around at the warehouse quite a bit, which I'm a little concerned about. I'm just glad we don't have an HR department.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah. We've said that before.
Yes.
Do you want to say who it is? Because you asked me to guess. I know who it is, so we haven't mentioned it. Do you want to say it now or you want to wait till
we can say it. I've already talked with Dima about it, so we're all good.
All right. All right. Sounds good. So, Justin, also known as Ozzy, and he's on Instagram what is it? AH?
I don't remember what his IG handle is. I don't pay attention to Instagram as much.
He's on Instagram. I always thought his Instagram handle was Ozzy.
Isn't it like J Cooey or?
It's K Cooey, KOOIE 88.
Gotcha.
But his name, where you put your name, is Ozzy. It's AH-Z. Yeah. Good guy. A friend, he currently works at Stellar Belt. Tyler stole him from Stellar Belt.
I did unintentionally. It just sort of happened. We were actually talking about Sierra Trek because he is coordinating everything for Stellar Belt to be up at Sierra Trek as a vendor.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And so we were kind of talking about that and kind of what the expectation is of being a vendor at Sierra Trek and, where you set up and what timing looks like, everything. And then we started talking about Trail Hero. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to go this year. I just don't have enough time to get away from the business again, which will be, I think, the 3rd time this year. I'll take a long trip. And I'm like, I don't feel okay doing that. I was like, I really just need to hire an events person. And then it just spiraled from there.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he's going to be our main sales rep moving forward, which means with somebody now focusing specifically on sales, we need to up our production crew.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Yep.
He's also the crew chief for the Wicks.
That's true.
Our friends, the Wicks. So he's out at a whole bunch of the Ultra 4 races. He's definitely ingrained in that culture, but he is a fun character from Australia, fun to chat with. We're definitely going to have to get him on. I've talked about, Ozzy and I have talked about if you were to pick a vehicle and design it for extended travel off-road, what vehicle and how would you build it out? And I think that would be a fun conversation to have on the podcast.
100%. Yeah. The other thing I'm kind of looking forward to is I'm going to have him head up all of our Australian distribution.
Oh,
so we have an
Can we just record the phone call?
Exactly. So I'm going to record the phone calls and eavesdrop on the emails and see how many things get talked about where I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
We could have a whole segment about Aussie talk.
Aussie slang, yeah.
And play a few sentences and see if people can guess what they were discussing.
Oh my God. So all of our Australian listeners out there, Ron, Charles, the dude building the patrol, everybody that is an Australian listener, you need to call in and leave us voicemails with
your thick Aussie accent.
With your thick Aussie accents and whatever slang vernacular you guys use for stuff. And then we'll play it and we'll have Aussie translate.
Yeah.
How's that?
That'll be fun. I think that'd be hilarious. I know a little bit of slang and you might be able to pick it up. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it in an Australian accent because I'll just butcher it. No, I don't. I can't even. I'm not horrible at accents. So you need to put your sunnies and your boardies on and go to Macca's.
I'm going to guess it's your sunglasses, your board shorts, and I have no clue what we're going to guess a bar, a restaurant chain of some
McDonald's.
Restaurant chain. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the some of the extent I know from Australian slang.
Okay. That's funny.
Too fun.
So anyways,
it'll be awesome to have him here.
Yep.
He's a great dude.
Yep.
Has done some amazing things at Stellar Built. Was he the like shop manager kind
pretty
of?
much. Yeah.
He was one of the higher ups.
Yeah. One of the shop managers. And then he did all of their 12-volt wiring.
Mm-hmm.
So everything on vehicles that had a 12-volt, the electrical. So yeah, God, I mean,
he has an eclectic past.
He's done underwater welding.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's done underwater welding. He's done crane rigging. He's been a project manager for crane operations. He's a very interesting background with a lot of different careers. So
it'll be good to have him on. Congratulations. I think that's a big move for MORRFlate. That's pretty rad. I think that Snail armor is kind of moving up. So that's a nice thing for what I've got going on. I'm going back to Snail armor. I still enjoy helping and designing the custom side, and I don't know if I'm ever really going to let that go.
I don't think you could. Like that would be, because that's something when you're doing custom design stuff, like there's so much that goes into it that it really takes a good designer and somebody who can translate what customers want. Yeah. And if you figured out that process, it would take a hell of a time to train somebody how to do that.
Unless they're of experienced graphic designer.
Yeah. Right.
I had one the other day. Somebody sent me in a photo of an embroidered patch and said, can you laser etch this? Right. And it was like 30 colors. And I said, no, not really. I need an image that is strictly black or white, black and white, a monochromatic photo, can't be grayscale, can't be colors. And if you can get it to me in vector, that'd be best, but otherwise I need a high res JPEG. And they're like, okay. And then they sent me a photo of the same picture turned grayscale and it in the same size. And so great for those that might not know, but grayscale is more or less a black and white photograph, right? There's thousands of grays in there and I can't etch that. I can't etch grays. Yeah. Like it doesn't work. So it has to literally be a strictly black or strictly, white. One color logo. Yeah. That's a great way to put it. So, I just threw it into the vector format program and line traced it and not by hand, by the software. And I sent it to the guy. I'm like, this is how it comes out in my software. Is this what you're looking for? He's like, oh, that looks fantastic. And I'm going, this looks like shit. I think it's so bad. It's, because it has it's rough and grainy and, it has random things. And so I cleaned it up a little bit, but I would, I do offer graphic design services. Like if you have a design that you want made and you can't find it, I will do the design for you. I almost offered to do that for him. Be like, hey man, I can recreate this entire logo for you. Yeah. But he was like, no, this is fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm like, okay. Alrighty. Here we go.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly. I offered it to him and it's funny as a designer, I was like, ooh. I would not I'm sending it to you to show you how bad your design is, not the design, but how bad the file you gave me is. And then he liked it. Yeah. I was like, okay, all right, fine, whatever.
That's funny. Well, cool, man. Yeah. It's a fun bird walk to start off this Thursday's episode. That's kind of the point of Thursdays.
15 minutes in. For sure.
No particular topic. We're just talking about whatever on Thursdays. Yeah. But we are about just over halfway through the month of May now. So that means we did get the April winners for the giveaway, the 2 extra gift boxes. We got those sent out. So Sean and Ryan, you guys should see those showing up at your house with the next few days.
Sean probably
has his already.
Probably got it already.
Yeah. And then let's see, for May, we're doing 2 of the new MORRFlate PSI Pro compressors. So those are coming along really well. I contracted Brian Murphy.
Oh, did you?
Speaking of digital design stuff, contracted him to design the boxes, the retail boxes for them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We kind of had a base design. I told him how I wanted it modified, and he did the modification and got it on the first try.
Wow. Good for him.
I was like, That was pretty cool. I've never seen a design person ever get something right on the first try.
No, that never happens.
Never happens,
Never.
right? Yeah.
So did he lay it out on a flat or did he lay it out 3D?
On a flat.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So anyways, the retail boxes are going to look awesome. We are going to be opening those up to retail. The 10.6 and the 5.6, the regular compressors, there's unfortunately not quite enough margin in them to be retail and be able to allow retailers to get their profit margins. But we were able to set the price points on the new PSI Pros so that there's enough profit margin there for retailers.
Oh, cool.
So if you guys out there like supporting your local retailers, whoever they are for off-road retail, hit them up and ask them to bring them in, and we can get them in, and everybody will make some pretty nice profit margins on them. So
sweet. That's
yeah.
exciting.
Yep. I like making sure the retailers are taken care of and anybody who's buying stuff. So
I'm going to throw this out there. Feel free to shoot it down.
Shooting it down.
Because there's some logistics behind it that might be a little complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But if one or possibly two of our winners that we're giving away want the 5.6, would that be an option?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We can do that.
So they have their choice of a 10.6 or a 5.6.
Yep. And the PSI Pro. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we can do that.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Yep.
Good to hear.
So that's coming along. We also launched a trailer kit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we just
what kind of trailer?
For an off-road trailer.
Okay.
But we have two different lead option lengths for the trailer leads. And so you can pick, I believe it's 14 feet or 25 feet.
Wow. Okay.
15 feet or 24 feet. That's what it is. So 15 feet fits most of your off-road trailers just fine, like your off-road teardrop camping trailers. And then the 25-foot ones are more for like your towing trailers.
You know, I just came up with an idea for MORRFlate.
Oh, okay.
What about making an extension cord for the power for your compressors? Because I'm for me, I'm thinking, oh, well, I just kind of use my MORRFlate to inflate my trailer tires on my, flat deck, my buggy hauler trailer. Mm-hmm. But it's hard for me to arrange where the compressor is because then I got to move a vehicle near the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had like an extension cable that goes from my battery to the compressor, I could put the compressor kind of wherever would best fit.
Mm-hmm. We have that planned.
Sweet.
Yeah, we've been
You're
planning
so smart.
And we've been planning that one for a while. It's just a matter of having other priorities because again, I'm trying to do this without bringing on investors and without taking business loans. So everything is being done strictly off cash flow. So I have to be very choosy about stuff that comes out next, as you know, you're familiar with.
I get it.
Yeah. And so the PSI Pro has been like the main focus for the past 2.5, 3 years. And so now that that's out or going to be out, then the rest of stuff should start flowing out too.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Yep. It's a smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a small announcement.
Okay.
Joe Z60421 got in contact with me.
Ooh, congratulations to Joe so far.
Yeah. So we are still waiting for username already taken 69420.
Okay.
He was the first one drawn.
Mm-hmm.
So if he gets in contact with us before Memorial Day, because once Memorial Day runs around, that the drawing's over for the most part.
Yep.
So once Memorial Day runs around, and if username already taken does not get in contact with us, Joe Z wins.
Nice.
And I asked Joe Z a few questions, and it's funny because his username he hit me up on Instagram, and his name is Joe Z something. I forgot what the last name was. And it says he's from Illinois. And so I Googled again 60421, and it's an Illinois zip code.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, those connect. So, and then I asked him some questions if he could verify his the account. And he's like, I can't log in right now. I'm on my work phone, but like I did log in a little bit, and I can modify the post that I made, my review. Yeah. And I'm like, don't modify it yet. Wait till if you actually get the winch, and then modify and say you're the winch winner. Yeah. So he was able to get in enough and then sent me some screenshots to show that he can edit the post and everything. So I was able to confirm that.
Sweet.
So we do have a winner for the winch. And the question really comes down to if a username already taken, 69420, gets in contact with us, he'll win the winch, and then we will do a consolation prize for Joe.
Yep.
But if username doesn't message us, Joe, you and the winch.
Sweet. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to finally say I have to wave bye to that winch.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And then following that, we have concluded our discussions with Yokohama in regards to the 750 giveaway, and they are going to be giving us what?
A full set of tires.
Yeah,
four
tires.
Yep. Pretty much whatever you want. No stickies and no race compound tires. But they're the Geolander MTs, the XMTs, the XATs, everything up to 40-inch tires that they have. Just it has to be a smaller rim than 20 inches, which if you're an off-roader, you're probably running 17-inch rims.
Yep. So
pretty freaking rad.
For 750 reviews, everybody, all 750 people that have entered, everybody, including the 0 to 500, all of you guys have a chance to win a set of tires from Yokohama.
Yep.
Which we don't know how long this is going to take. It could take a year, 2 years, 5 years. We're not sure. And that was sort of the deal that we made with Yokohama, that this will probably take a little bit of time, and we're going to talk about it often. But this is also a great thing for you guys out there, that you could win a set of tires from Yokohama just by leaving a review. Or figuring out a way to leave more reviews.
Exactly. So I think last time we looked at reviews, we were at like 521, I think.
That
somewhere around
sounds
there.
right.
So I haven't looked and refreshed it to see where we're at now, but I do have the reviews up.
Okay.
That we can read a couple, and then I can let us know where we're at after we're done reading them.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Sweet. So next review here on the list is from Tommy on the Trail.
Hey, Tommy.
It says, new listener here, Tommy 2 Trails. Just want to thank you guys for giving me some great listening material while I'm at work. Really made my workday much more productive. Interesting. Usually not how it works out for me when I'm listening to podcasts.
Yeah, I can't pay attention and do work at the same time.
I can't either. It says, LOL, excited to possibly join a group run or trip. Instagram trail together. So
is that his hashtag?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Let's see. Chris Avard. Hey,
Mr. Avard.
Great podcast. Says great podcast. Would highly recommend.
Thank you.
Nice short, sweet one.
I would highly recommend it also.
Agreed. Next one is from Sick One Craze. And it says, Yoda's exclamation point. I'm so glad I found this podcast. I hate all the off-road podcasts are Jeep centered. We do too.
Yep.
Sir.
That's our niche.
Yep.
Soon to be the Ford podcast.
Right. Although I think we're having to fight a Benji here for the Toyota podcast.
Yeah. Benji's pushing the limits for sure.
Let's see. Last one for today is from Krusty TJ, as pretty much all TJs are.
Especially John Allen's.
Yes. It says, first time listening. Love the fact of keeping it real. Winch entry number 1.
Perfect.
So,
and now Yokohama entry
now it's
number 1.
Set of tires from Yokohama. Yep.
Cool. So how many reviews are we up to?
Man, that's a good question. Let me go back here. We're going to click on this, go over here. We're going to jump through a hula hoop. We got 2 more, 523.
523. Awesome.
Let's see here. What else do we got on the docket for today? I don't think we have anything.
We got 2 voicemails
we have 2
that we're going to listen to.
that we didn't listen to last time.
Okay.
So they're from the same person, and I haven't looked at it to see what's going on with it, but it looks like it's from Florida.
Oh, is it Frank?
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
I don't see a
Hopefully
name
they
on
left
here.
their name. Okay.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see what our friend from Florida has to say.
Hey there, Frank from Florida, moderator, same
There it
guy,
is.
side by side. Those things cause so much trouble out here, and leave so much waste. I hate them. And like Jimmy was saying, it's all about having money, and just being able to jump in something and go outdoors. But they generally have no regard for the outdoors, leaving whatever they eat when they stop all in one spot, throwing cans out as they're driving along. I just hate them. They're talking about you guys said cracking down on them in the national forest and the state forest here. So I hope it happens. That's all. And, I pretty much turned it off once you got into the Star Wars thing. I guess it was fun, but coulda, woulda, shoulda, stuff that never was. That's all. I did miss Jimmy's joke at the end, though. I'll probably go back and listen to that part. All right. Well, have a good day.
I have 2 comments for Florida Frank real quick.
Okay, I'm ready.
A is don't worry about going back and listening to the jokes. They were Star Wars jokes. You probably won't get them.
True.
And B, my other comment is there's forests in Florida. I don't think that's true.
There are. There definitely are. It's very humid there, so that they get a lot of forest or a lot of growth in that area. It's not. It's all flat.
I've never seen any trees in Florida.
It's all flat.
So,
but there's no
other
hills.
Than palm trees. Are they palm tree
Yeah,
forest?
Palm tree forest. Yeah. No, I don't know what's going to happen side by side wise. I mean, we've been slamming them on our podcast, but they just need to figure their shit out. And, besides us getting into that market, if we wanted to help them, which I don't think is anything Tyler and I are going to do.
No.
Because we're not side by side owners, but yeah, they need to rally and come together and figure it out and realize that they're hurting more than that they're helping.
Yeah. There's always in groups of people, there's always going to be the bad apples, right?
I'm sure.
But in typically speaking, it's
which is Dylan. But yeah,
which is
continue.
Dylan. And typically speaking, it's a super, super minority of the group that is the bad apples. And in the off-roading case, and especially the overlander case, it's Dylan for sure.
Yeah.
He's the bad apple. But it seems like in the side-by-side communities, there's way more bad apples than good apples.
Right. Sure.
And I think it comes down to education.
Yes.
100%. And it's just, how do you educate them?
Yeah. I forgot who mentioned it. Somebody, I think, said it at some point that we've all been wheeling for the Jeeping and off-roading, and, Toyota got in there, and probably, the Jeepers were around before first, having the Jeeps after the surplus from the military. Toyota really came on strong in the 70s and 80s and, caught up and surpassed that other brand. And so we've been wheeling for a long time, and we've been fighting these fights maybe it was Ben that said it. We've been fighting these fights to keep our trails open. And now side by sides, you can buy one, you can do a whole bunch of stuff, but you haven't been in this fight with us. You're just entering now and you don't get it. And I think that somebody needs to wake them up somehow. And hopefully it's not the government, because that's just going to
impact everybody.
It's going to impact everybody and not look good, because they're like, why they, you're telling me I have to wear a seatbelt? I don't want to wear a seatbelt. Nobody likes it when the government tells them to do stuff.
The side by side, the off-roading community is not the best community to get governed by the government.
No. Yeah. And so hopefully somebody in that community can start organizing them to figure shit out.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, thanks, Frank, for calling. Good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know if you have called in before, but definitely a long time listener, and it's good to hear you.
Yep. So I think he ended up calling back.
Oh, okay.
So let's see what he has to say.
Maybe he went back and listened to the jokes. He's going to be pissed.
Oh, this one's longer. Okay, here we go.
Hey, listening to 396 with Nick Pickle from Dirt Lifestyle. And to remind me, I remember seeing one of your banners for MORRFlate in his video. And it seems like it'd probably be a good time to revisit your discussion of the air pump and how the tire valve is the slowdown for inflating regardless of what you have, and why your new pump works so well, balancing it out between 4 tires. I don't know. I had a discussion at a recent wheeling trip, and hopefully a couple of the guys were there listening to the conversation. I saw the light bulbs go off in their head after watching me inflate my tires from 12 to 40 in about 6 minutes. So, and required just bending down at each tire once. Yeah, it's a good selling point for old people like me, or even people who just don't want to sit there and pull the key in the tire chuck. I want to think about doing another episode on your pumps and four-way tire inflators and two-way tire inflators, and how you shouldn't use your pump with just one tire, et cetera, et cetera. All right, man. Have a good one. It was a great interview with Nate, and I like the Ram Charger, but I like Nate a lot more than the Ram Charger, so still get my vote a few times on the Onyx off-road thing. All right, dude. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's always fun hearing about people sharing their experiences with MORRFlate on the trails. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we're probably a little overdue. I mean, maybe some of our listeners have already heard us talk about the way that air flows into tires at some bit, but we haven't had a MORRFlate interview talk in quite a while.
I guess we have. I mean, we can go over, I guess, the science and the physics behind inflating on an episode. We could do that in the near future here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Good idea, Frank. And maybe we'll send that to Nate so he can get a better understanding of it. Because what did he do? He used the 10.6 on one tire.
He used it on one tire, and then he used his modded maxi track compressor on one tire at a time as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not getting the full effect of it. You're wasting your usable capacity of the compressor. You're completely wasting it by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And his was ever so slightly faster to some extent, but because it's modded.
Yep.
So he was using yours as a baseline and then trying to see how much faster his was.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
But it would have aired up quicker if he would have aired up 4 tires than just the one.
Yeah.
Which is a weird way to think.
Yeah, totally.
Because you're like, well, this thing pushes out so much air, I'll just throw all that into a tire. Where if you hook up 4 tires, it airs up faster. So it is a little bizarre to think about it that way. It shouldn't be faster.
Yeah.
But it is, which is weird. So yeah, we'll cover that in a future episode and talk about why.
Yeah, we can talk about the physics and the science and the nerdiness behind it. So that'd be fun. I would enjoy it, but but I like nerdy stuff. So
well, one of our most downloaded episodes is the compressor episode we did. It was like episode 5,
really,
or something like that. Yeah, it's definitely up there and probably our, I don't know.
I haven't checked the stats on that one in a while.
I haven't either, but I know that back in the day, when we were in the first 100, it was one of our most downloaded episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still is today, but I mean, it's been probably that long since we've really had just a compressor talk, which I think that was in our first 10 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Maybe, we'll have to look back and see if we've done any more. I don't think we have.
I don't think we've done a dedicated episode to it.
I don't know. It's weird for me to go over stuff like that because I don't like self-promotion. I would much rather just do the work, and when we have stuff out, to announce it, answer questions for people when they have them, and then let the experience of the people speak, right?
Sure. Well, maybe we will reach out to our Facebook group and we will ask them. Maybe they're not the best audience to ask because they probably already know a lot of the questions or the answers, but maybe we'll reach out to somebody. Maybe I'll reach out. Maybe we do it on the MORRFlate website or Instagram, and I can do it on Snail Trail, and we'll ask for compressor questions.
Yeah.
And then we can review or look at those and answer those on an episode.
Cool. Yeah. I'm down.
Because there's probably some, generic or basic and involved questions that we have not talked about.
Yeah, probably. I think the most common one I get from people at MORRFlate customer service stuff is, and the confusion is A, the valve stem thing, and B, how having an air tank in your onboard air system impacts your air capacity.
Okay.
So those I know are, there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of people not understanding how physics with air works and how that impacts when you start throwing air tanks, reserve air into your onboard air systems.
Okay.
So
perfect.
That could be a fun topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. That's the 2 voicemails we're going to listen to now. It looks like we have a few more, but those might be for episode 400. So we'll hold off on those for episode 400. The next one coming out here on Monday. We did realize, I realized, and then we kind of were talking a little bit about it. We flew right by our 4-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And didn't never really mention it.
No, I know. Yeah. We didn't, I think we realized it when we're like, oh crap, we're coming up quick on episode 400. Wait, isn't this about when we started?
Yeah.
When was our first podcast, official full podcast released? Because I know it was about a month or so prior that we released the teaser.
Yep.
And then our first episode came out. And then we were coming into the discussion of, was Wheeling Wine and Whiskey in front of us or behind us? Because I thought that we released our teaser episode first, and then they released their first episode first. And then we released ours. We were like pissed that they released theirs before us. And so we released one after that. But that wasn't the case.
Nope. We beat them to the punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they released their teaser episode before our first episode, but not before our teaser episode.
Yeah, I think their teaser was maybe 2 weeks before their first one, and our first episode was May 1st, and their first full episode was like May 4th or 6th, somewhere in there.
It was something like that. I think ours was May 2nd, but anyways, semantics. Yeah, ours was the very beginning of May, and theirs was like a few, like within 5 days into May or something like that. They were probably. Because they released on Tuesday, so I wonder if ours first one was out on Thursday, and then they were 5 days later
out on Tuesday.
So who knows? Somewhere around there. Yeah. Because then I think we started releasing 2 within, I don't know what it was. We started releasing 2 like a half of a year into it.
Yeah. Yeah, once we realized that the episodes were going on 3 hours, 3.5 hours long.
Exactly.
We're pulling some Joe Rogan episodes out.
Yeah. So, congratulations to you and me and us and all the listeners that have stuck with us for 4 years and Dooley for supporting us. James Dooley being the first supporter.
Dustin Ferguson.
Was it Ferguson? That's right. What's his Ferguson's Instagram?
Dusty Drone, isn't it?
Is it?
I think he's Dusty Drone.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
I'll remember as soon as we're done recording. But our one and only right now 4-year supporter. So thanks to you.
Yep. That's cool. I think Florida Frank has been around all 4 years too. I think he came over from High Sierra.
Probably. I think a lot of our 4 years have been. Yeah. We'll know more next month, and because I know that we have a bunch of people signing up next month for 4 years. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. Pretty rad stuff, man. Been going on 4 years, so we'll see how much longer we keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Let's see. What were you up to this past weekend?
I did a lot of family stuff.
Oh, okay.
My daughter had theater. She's in theater. I've talked about it before, but she had a play on Friday night, a play on Saturday matinee, and a play on Saturday night.
Jeez.
Yeah. And we have to drop her off like an hour early so that they can do sort of a dress rehearsal, run through some of the scenes and then get ready. And then people start shuffling in, half an hour into it. And, but I'll just say, man, I think as a parent, theater is one, at least in Roseville, the theater is one of the best activities you could put your child into because it's the building is thermally regulated, right? It's air conditioned or heated, depending on the season. There's also a full bar in the theater at the concession stand. They'll make almost every drink you want. They have limited alcohol. Like you can't choose, I want a Whistle Pig or whatever, but they have Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. And then Evan Walker Evan, I forgot what that whiskey is called. Yeah. Basic, low mid shelf whiskeys, but they'll make you a Manhattan. They'll make you an old fashioned, you can get stuff like that. They have a few different choices of wine. They have Monk's Cellar beers on tap, which is directly across the street. So, and it's all in the same location. You don't have to really travel. Yeah. So doing theater for a parent is super nice. Yeah. Just because it's easy and it's fun, and we can, there's only one way to do child's theater, and it's with a bar. So it works out pretty good. All these, I wish my daughter was more athletic and into soccer or baseball or something, but having to go travel to different fields or go, sit outside in the sun while watching somebody run around and attempt to kick a ball every once in a while or throw a ball.
Uh-huh.
It's not as intriguing as just going into an air conditioned building and drinking a beer and watching some kids goof up on their lines.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, anyways, that last entire week was super busy. She had tech every single day. So we had to get her, there's days that normally the assistant picks her up, but because she had to go to tech, I had to go pick her up. So our schedule was all messed up. So I didn't really do anything on the house or on Bobcat or any of the rigs in this last week.
Did you get your harmonic balancer in?
I have received it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Yes. Did you receive it?
I did not install it yet.
Okay.
I probably will, especially with I might do it with the new tool that we got out in the waiting room. Should we talk about that?
Are you going to pull your radiator and everything?
Yeah. Because I didn't have antifreeze when I did the power steering box, and I had the radiator out for that. So there's only water in the radiator right now. So I was considering draining it anyway and putting antifreeze in. Mm-hmm. Even though now here we are coming into the summer season, but it's still anti-corrosive, so it's a little better.
Yeah.
And so I figured I could drain the radiator, pull the radiator, use this new tool that we got from Flex that Lawless Corey has given us to test and play with, which are, what are they? 1/2-inch drive impact,
high torque impacts,
which will be great for pulling that crankshaft nut off the front. And putting it back on because you're
the starter method.
The starter method works.
Yeah.
That one's fun, but it's not as easy to reinstall.
And your starter needs to work apparently for that.
Yeah, which isn't always the same, which isn't the case.
Yeah.
The low batteries when you're driving down the highway
with no alternator.
With no alternator spinning apparently.
Yeah.
So I might play with the Flex that we just got in and pull that bolt off and pull the radiator out and fill that up and change out that harmonic balancer and inspect my belts. And I think I'm not going to replace the front cover of the engine because it's not leaking.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. It seemed like it was just fine.
It's gouged.
Yeah,
but it's not wrong. It's not having a problem. Yeah. If anything, it's a very slight better heat sink.
Yeah. There's more surface area for heat sinking now.
So I'm just going to leave it. I'll inspect it once I get it off and, I can shine a good light in there and have a little bit more room and see if it's threatening or potentially bad or if it's just gouged in a spot, which I think that's about it.
I think you're just gouged and you're going to be fine.
So I'll get to that in a little bit. Our buddy, first gen Dave wants to go on a wheeling trip in the beginning of June here. And so I really want to get that done before that point as an option to go out there. So we'll see. That's my goal, but I also do school's ending soon and I am getting pressure to do some finishing stuff on the house. Did I talk last episode about, I did remove all the popcorn ceiling out of the entire house. Did I talk about that?
Nope.
So I've done that, but that was, I think that was a week ago.
That was last week.
Was it last week that I did that? Okay. Yeah. So I did do some house chores. I did finish pulling all the popcorn ceiling off the rest of the house. So no more popcorn ceiling. I spoke to my buddy Paul, who has a texture gun, and I started talking to him about when can we get together. And he said, send me a photo of the ceilings. I want to check it out. And I sent him a photo. He's like, nope, it's not off enough. You need to pull more. It needs to be perfectly clean because I guess it'll show waviness. The texture will build up differently.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Wherever there's a not completely clean area, and it's clean. I thought it was good enough, but there's some residual stickiness stuff left behind. So
hate when that happens.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to go through it another time, do another quick scrape, make sure everything's good. And then he told me about some stuff to patch anywhere that I gouged the drywall. I need to patch. And then I'm going to cover the floors and I'm going to seal or cover the windows and more or less prep for paint.
Okay.
But I'll prep for the texture coating the texturing and paint at the same time.
Yeah.
And my goal is to get all that done before he shows up with the texture gun.
Gotcha.
And my buddy Jimbo and Paul are going to come up, and we're going to probably texture the house everywhere that needs to get textured, minus the master bathroom because it won't be ready.
Okay.
And then I'm going to start painting.
Nice.
Yeah.
But you still have to do the floor in the guest bathroom, right?
I got to rip that out. Yeah.
Okay.
That's, I'm probably going to do that this week.
Gotcha.
At some point. So I'm going to rip that out and then drag the assistant out to some flooring place and get an idea of what she wants, and then start that process of getting that floor in, because that's going to be the last thing that's going to hold us up, I think, from moving in to the house.
Yeah.
I want to get the texture done. I want to get the paint done. I want to get that floor done, and I want to get carpet done all before I think we move in. And maybe there's a point at which, so in the office, there's carpet, but I ripped it up and there's hardwood floor underneath it. So I'm probably going to go to hardwood floor. So I'm going to need to see if we're going to need to reseal or fix that, sand it down. Yeah. Because I knew where they put the carpet tacks around the outsides, there's probably going to need to get some work done there. Yeah. And then Cody Addington's going to come over in a few weeks.
Nice.
After his trip out to Montana and that race. And we're going to go over, because his professional job is bathrooms and a general. No, he primarily focuses on kitchens and master bathrooms.
Gotcha.
And so I want to have him come over and take a quick peek at my plans and my game plan and what I want to do in that room. And I want him to tell me like I'm an idiot or this is good, and here's a few things I should think about. So that'll be fun to have him come check things out. And then I'm gonna rip. I've also decided I'm gonna rip open the remainder of that wall. It's interesting. There's a center wall and it splits two bathrooms, right? There's a bathroom on the left and a bathroom on the right, and there's a wall down the middle. So I'm going to rip that one of those sides, the master bathroom side, all the way open, and I'm going to replace all of the copper lines in there with some sort of plastic. And I've been advised that I should probably do that because the copper, I have hard water and it gets very thin and then could leak. And while it's open, I might as well put the proper plastic stuff in.
Nice.
So there's some work ahead of me, but able to start moving in, I think there's only a handful of things that I really need to get done. And some of them are time sensitive, like that, like we need to have carpet in the bedrooms before we move into the bedrooms. And before there's carpet, we need to paint. Yeah. And before there's paint, I need to texture. Yeah. So there is an order of operations that I need to go through, but yeah. And then, hey, whoever the Loomis general contractor was that got in contact with me, write me again. I can't find you in my Instagram where you messaged me. And I would like to have your name as a backup just in case I have some problems.
Nice. So cool.
All right. I think, that's about it on my end. Otherwise, it's just been panels. And I got a bunch of, I hashtagged Jeep Gladiator and searched the hashtags for some influential people that when I scrolled through their Instagram feed, didn't look like they had mountain hatches already, and contacted them and found out if they were going to be interested in a Snail armor. And I think I'm sending 5 of those out to influencers, maybe 6 out to some influencers. So hopefully that is going to hit the market and get the ball rolling on the Gladiators. I did send one out to Rob Motive, who blew up my Tacoma side, and he has a JT, and his following is much smaller on YouTube than it is on the Tacoma end, but he still had a bunch of followers have questions about custom etching and order some panels. So thanks to Rob. If you're a Tacoma guy, he does, I think, like a video a day on the Tacoma.
Jeez. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. I don't know how he does it. And it's just Rob Motive. So you could search Rob Motive. He's on YouTube and Instagram. He's an interesting character. He lives, I think, in Texas somewhere, and just does YouTube videos, as far as I can tell, on video a day on the Tacomas, and Rob Motive JT for the Gladiator, if you're a cheap guy.
I'm trying to think, how does that work? The
very little editing,
scheduling, dude. I'm like, you'd have to like take a weekend and shoot 7 videos because it's going to take you a weekend just to shoot the videos.
Yeah.
and then you immediately Monday morning start editing them, and you would have to edit like one video a day, but like the first one you get out has to go out Monday morning for Monday, and then
or you edit the first one on Sunday.
On Sunday night, for Monday morning, and then you're editing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then maybe have Thursday, Friday to do stuff. Like, I don't know.
I think and I don't know, maybe because he also has the Jeep channel, and I think he has another channel as well that he also puts content out on. So he must have his filming and editing like down to a science.
Yeah.
He's got it figured out somehow. They're not highly edited, and they're not like immensely. It's just like I don't know what it is, his phone or a GoPro or something on a tripod, and he kind of just goes. And then it occasionally grabs it and shows highlights and things, but it's not, it's not a high end YouTube video.
Gotcha.
It's just a quick informational, like spotlight.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just his face and he's talking about like, what does the ETC button mean?
Yeah.
And then maybe he shows a picture of it. So sometimes they're just really kind of quick and generic, and sometimes they're a little more in depth. Like I think the Snail Armor Tacoma video was like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And that's probably one of his longer ones.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't get a whole lot done this weekend because we're starting to get to 90-degree weather.
Yeah. And that's when you hibernate.
And that's when I hibernate. Yeah. My body just doesn't handle heat. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know if it's something wrong with me, but I just can't handle heat. So like I was working on stuff
you need to move to Truckee.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would work on stuff until like 11 a.m. And then it's like 85, 90 degrees by 11:30. And I'm like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I ended up washing the Subaru and the Bronco.
Okay.
Because we're selling the Subaru, and the wife wanted the Bronco clean from the Moab Adventures.
Well, you haven't washed it yet?
No.
I haven't washed Bobcat either.
So I did that, and then my other goal was to get the front axle done.
Okay. Yeah.
For my axle build. And so I thought I had everything. And I did not have a wrench capable of installing the kingpin.
What do you need?
You need a 7/8 hex key wrench.
Really?
Yes. Which is massive.
That is massive.
Like I thought, I was like, oh, it looks like a big hole, but I was like, I've got 3/4 inch.
I think I have one. I think I have a 3/4 inch drive.
That's what I was wondering, because I remember I had a bunch of 3/4 inch drive stuff, and I gave it all to you because I was like, I'm never going to fucking use this. And I think there was a 7/8 hex key in that.
Probably. There's massive hex keys.
Yeah.
Sockets.
Yeah. And so I was looking for those. I was like, oh, I think I gave all those to Jimmy. Dang it. But so I ordered up a 7/8 hex key. Like it's an L wrench, right?
Yes.
Like it's like your regular Allen key wrenches.
Yeah.
But huge.
Right.
It's like 16 inches long and like it's 7/8 thick. It probably weighs 2 pounds, 3 pounds. I don't know, whatever it is. Anyway, so I got that in. It was
how long, where did you order it from, and how long did it take you to get it?
Ordered it from Amazon.
Okay.
Came in 2 days, a day and a half. It was $53.
Yeah. You could have called me in that amount of time and found out if I had a 7/8 one.
I could have, but I needed one. I mean, I need to have my own, right? I don't like borrowing stuff from people. So I ordered it up, and then I got it in, and I was like holding it. I was like, this is ridiculous. So I took pictures of it and sent it to a bunch of people. And one of the people I sent to was our group with you, Hussman, and 400 Dave.
Yep.
And Hussman comes back with, oh, you could have just gotten something that has a 7/8 hex OD on it.
Yeah.
And which would be like a coupler.
Right.
And then just use a 7/8 socket then to tighten it. And I was like, God damn it, Hussman.
Right.
It's like, that makes so much more sense than going with the $53 wrench I bought.
Right. A coupler is $2.
Yeah, a coupler is $2 down at any hardware store pretty much.
You have a socket that'll fit that.
I have a 7/8 socket for sure. And I've got extra 7/8 sockets too. So like I could buy 2 couplers and have a trail one.
Weld it together.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. I have
Return
this
it.
big ass wrench. Oh, I did. This is Amazon. I
It's
can
Amazon.
return it. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
And
I'm gonna
I
return
have
Amazon.
read somewhere that they're changing their return policy, but I haven't seen anything
Yeah. Okay.
about it.
Interesting.
So
I haven't heard that.
return
at
it
all.
before they change their policy.
Right. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm leaning right now, is going with that coupler and 7/8 socket, and and then just weld them together. And I've got my kingpin tightener
Perfect.
and breaker. So
What kind of torque do you need to get on that?
So you're supposed to, I've heard different things in between 200 foot-pounds and 600 foot-pounds.
Holy crap.
Pretty much what
Would that coupler be strong enough for that?
That's a good question. I don't know. The consensus I've kind of come down to is you just tighten it as tight as you can go.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I would put it on a 1/2-inch drive.
Yeah.
Or a 1/4-inch drive, whatever one you want. You go until you break the tang of the 1/4-inch drive, and then it's tight enough.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's definitely going on a 1/2-inch drive, but so we'll see how that turns out. But I needed that. And then I also needed, apparently I forgot to order the studs for the steering arms.
Oh.
When I ordered the steering arms.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
So I was looking through the steering arm box.
So the steering arm can attach to the knuckle.
To the knuckle, yeah.
Okay.
So I was looking through the box. I was like, where the fuck are the studs? I was looking. I was like, they didn't send me the studs. I was like, oh, man. So I was like thinking, man, now I got to contact them on Monday and be like, hey, guys, I need the studs. And I pulled out the packing slip. And I was like, did they mark off that they packed it even? And looking through, and apparently what I ordered was explicitly the steer arm kit without studs. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot.
I understand how that's an option, but I also feel that it should be a minus, not an add.
Yeah. Like you have to, I don't know. Like, I don't remember selecting that option. I just selected the steer arms, and I wasn't paying attention.
That's your problem.
So that's my problem.
You didn't select the steer arms with you just selected steer arms.
Yep. So, so those are on their way now. So now that I have the wrench for the kingpins and the steer arm studs, I should have everything to put the axle together. Brannick has officially charged me for the front shafts.
Oh,
so those should be here on their way. They said that they had the blanks in stock on hand, that once I got them the measurements, it would probably be 2, maybe 3 weeks to get them done and out to me. So gave them the measurements last week. They've charged me now. So we'll see when those show up.
Okay.
But I've got the stub shafts. I've got the unit bearings. I've got the knuckles. I've got the C's. I've got all the bearings. So I put in the lower bearings for the knuckles while I had everything out. And then you can't really, it's kind of like your process with the tech string. You can't go any further until you get the kingpins installed.
Right.
So this weekend I'm going to get the kingpins installed and set up the knuckles. Then I've got to weld on the caliper brackets to the knuckles. And then once those are on, pretty much it's ready to go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So when is your key item coming in that is preventing you from moving forward?
I have it now. It was the kingpin wrench.
Okay. So you haven't done any install since receiving that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So yeah, kingpin wrench, and then was waiting on the steer arm studs.
Yeah.
So I should have those by the weekend time. So I should be able to get all that on and set up.
And when do you when's the drop off date for those?
First week of June.
So a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. A couple weeks away. And then from there, I still need to remove the bumpers and the batteries out of the Forerunner.
Right.
Yep.
Cool. That's good news. Mm-hmm. I forgot that I did something.
Oh, what you did?
I helped Lawless Corey, and we installed his bed cover.
Nice.
On the back of the brand new Tundra.
Yeah.
Which is such a nice truck.
It is a really nice truck.
I know Hustle Nuts, he's truck shopping, and he went and looked at it, and he was like, this thing's absolutely crap. Like it doesn't meet any of my criteria is pretty much what he said. And I think.
What's his criteria?
I don't know.
Older?
No. Well, a little older, I think. He wanted something, I forgot, like a 360 camera or something like that. And I'm like, no, the Tundra has that.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe it's a package level, but it does. But and so he's looking at the new F-150s. Yeah. And when I went to Boonville, one of the guys I went with has the new F-150. It's nice too.
They're
I mean,
nice.
they're super nice as well.
Mhm.
I think they're just kind of it's a different game. Like, do you want, I would see the Tundra as more of like a daily driver truck. And the Tundra is a daily driver truck. The F-150 is more of a work truck.
Yeah, I mean,
But they both have really nice amenities.
They have really nice amenities. The Tundra has the 5-link and coils springs in the rear.
Yes.
I don't think the new F-150 does. I think the new F-150 is still on leaf springs.
Still leaves.
Yeah.
I wonder if that affects the tow package.
Maybe the new F-150s are 9,500 pounds towing, I believe.
Yeah. And I don't know what the Tundra is. But
Yeah.
anyway, so whatever.
Tundra is 12,000 pounds.
Is it?
12,000 pound towing. Yeah.
Wow. So
because the Sequoia is about the same towing capacity as F-150. 9,000, 9,500. Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know what what his gripe was, but either one of those trucks will be nice for him. So,
Yeah.
but having the Tundra in the shop made the shop look good. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
He put on the Paragon like bed cover, which was kind of a neat thing. It kind of kaleidoscopes or accordions together is a better way to say it. Okay. Accordions together. And you push it all the way to the back, and then there is an option to pull you can turn it at an angle. You can release a pin and turn it at an angle, and you can pull all those out and store so you can have a completely open bed.
Okay.
Which is kind of neat. It was a pain in the butt to align everything, which every bed cover I've ever installed, that is like putting it on isn't hard, but getting everything square and tuned and, so that the rails are at the same length and same position and not, askew ever so slightly, and it causes binding. That is what takes the most amount of time. It probably took an hour to put the thing on and an hour to just do alignment.
Okay.
But it looked good. I mean, and it looks sturdy and strong. And I thought it's a great choice for his truck. It matched, looks really good on there, and it has a locking mechanism that's pretty neat into it. So it can throw all those flex power tools underneath into the bed now, because he used to be carrying it around in the back seat.
Yeah.
So he's opening up that back seat, and now he can lock things into his bed, which is going to be kind of cool.
That'll be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and it was good to hang out with Lawless Corey once again. Always good to hang out with him, and I think we're going to have him on the podcast here soon. So
yeah, next couple weeks I think is when we're scheduled for.
Yeah,
so
2 Mondays from now.
Yep.
So
cool,
yeah,
man.
I think that's all for now.
For now.
Yeah.
Yep. More updates to come. The summer is kind of starting to kick off. Like, everybody's getting antsy for summer, but we still can't really go do anything.
Right. Yeah.
The forests are closed up. Trails are still closed. Everything's still snow. There's Highway 4 still has like 12 feet of snow up at Ebbets Pass.
I saw
it's crazy.
I saw a report on my Google Face or the front page where you can just scroll and see headlines. And I saw one that said Tioga Pass might not open this year.
Wow.
I don't believe it. I can't imagine that, because at some point it's going to get low enough that they're going to be able to clear it.
Yeah.
But I thought that was so funny. I'm like, man, there's so much snow still out there that it's affecting everything. They did announce the new dates for Rubathon.
I haven't seen the official announcement come through. I haven't seen any emails come through yet for participants either.
Got it. So there has been an official release of the Rubathon date change. If you are signed up, Ross sent out an email saying that the new dates are September 6th through the 10th. So pushing it way back this year. Hopefully there's no fires.
Yeah.
And then that might get completely canceled. So we'll see how that happens. But if you are signed up for Rubathon or had a conflict of the original dates of Rubathon, make sure to check out the new dates, and hopefully we'll see you guys out there.
Cool. I like it. I know that the mini truck 4Runner run is getting full.
Yeah, if not full already.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there already. So some names I recognize too, which is kind of fun.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I'm definitely signed up on it. I was having a conflict with the original dates. Now I don't think I have a conflict at all. So I did talk to Steve called me, Steve Sasaki. Thank you. From Power Tank called me and asked me if I would be able to be a trail leader and help out. And I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Yeah. But now that the date's changed, I should probably call him back and say, hey, if you still need help, I'm definitely here.
Yep. Cool. Sweet. Sounds good, man. Good stuff all around. And if anybody has any questions about anything we talked about or any feedback for us, feel free to call in and leave us a voicemail, 916-345-4744. If you guys want to reach out to us on the grams, you can definitely do that as well. That's Snail Trail 4x4 and 4x4 Toyota Tyler, as well as emails. There's a Facebook page. There's irate 4x4. Lots of different ways to get in touch with us. So I guess without further ado, Jimmy, any final words for everybody out there?
I'm really getting excited for this new gift box.
Yeah, and with that, my friends, keep crawling.
I got one for you.
Joke time.
What happens when you throw a piano down a mine shaft?
You lose all your keys?
Not bad. Yeah, A flat minor.
Okay. That one's good.